So, good evening, people. Now, I mean, clearly, I have some other things in the works. Some really good series, teaching, and all those types of things. But there's so many popular culture things that are happening that are affecting the church, and I don't want to miss out on an opportunity to add to the dialogue concerning the things that are happening around us in the culture, the little cultural pockets around us. And one of the big things that are being discussed is or that is being discussed is the use of marijuana, or medical marijuana, opposed to just the recreational drug form. And I won't pretend to be well versed in the science behind medical marijuana or the process by which it was legislated to be legally used in the few states that have passed that law. However, what I want to say is, just as the church, we have to begin to have conversations about marijuana and how we view it. And I'm not saying that we should shape our worldview by what's happening, what's trendy, or what's current in law. But we do have to have conversations about what is lawful, and how that is actually coming into play with faith in terms of medical usage of marijuana. Now, a lot of the stigma or negative stigma, well, I guess stigma is negative in many cases, or that's the connotation anyway. But a lot of the stigma that comes with the use of marijuana is really from the recreational abuse of the plant itself. And I mean, personally, I have my reasons as to why I would not have participated in the use of marijuana recreationally at any point in my life. Part of it is because of my experience, and also part of it is because of what I was trained to think about marijuana. And some of the things that I might have believed about marijuana at some point, I don't necessarily hold true to those beliefs anymore. Not because there was some cognitive dissonance, as I said earlier, but sometimes just having a little education on something can cause you to upgrade the way that you think about it. Now, am I saying I'm a proponent of people just going out smoking marijuana? No. But I believe that it is a step toward a more holistic medicine experience. Whereas I really am not a proponent of some of these drugs that are being prescribed by doctors that really don't heal the body. They just medicate the body, and then the body becomes dependent on this particular drug to be able to function for whatever the duration of the lifetime is. And then the quality of life is seriously decreased for these drugs. I mean, I know cases of, I actually know a case of someone that I really love dearly, a little kid, and they were prescribed the medication, but the reason they were prescribed the medication is not for what the medication was created for, but they wanted one of the side effects of the medication. And I'm thinking to myself, so if the person is being treated with a medication based on the side effect, then what about the things that the medication is meant to do, and how is that really affecting the body of the person that's consuming this drug? And oftentimes we see so many different things happening there. I also would say that I'm not necessarily a fan of marijuana being used per se as a psychotropic drug, as anything that regulates the mind. That's a touchy subject, because then we talk about hormones and all these different things. Now, one of the things that I did, see, even looking on CNN as of tonight, I saw a case of a young lady used to have 300 seizures in a week, and when she was given like the an oil form of cannabis, in oil form, I believe that's how you say that, her seizures reduced from 300 seizures a week to 2 per month. And I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, that's amazing, because that does far more than any other type of drug that they are offering on the market, a man-made drug on the market. And I mean, the other alternative is getting, I think the term is lobectomy, maybe. I don't know if that's right, but basically removing parts of the frontal lobe, and whatever, wherever the location of the seizures happen, they generally remove it. I know ectomy means the removal of it. So I mean, the subject is a touchy subject, and I think that the reason I even bring it up is not to sound like I'm proficient in all the investigative studies concerning it, which I will be exploring soon. But I want us to begin to have a conversation concerning how marijuana is used. And I admittedly say that I'm upgrading even now concerning my thoughts, or my thoughts concerning the actual use of medical marijuana. I'm going to continue to emphasize that, because I realize that when you legalize a drug, people are still going to find illegal ways to obtain it, even if they don't need it for medical purposes, because people have found recreational uses the same way any other legal drug has been abused. We know there's a statistic that said, even this was a few years ago, that 100 or 150,000 Americans die annually from the usage of prescription medication. So we know that drugs are abused, and also that they're oftentimes, what's the word I want to use? They're often prescribed at a higher dosage than necessary, and so people end up, their bodies can't tolerate what the doctor has given. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I even heard a story today, for one of my friends. In her workplace, a co-worker's husband was prescribed the medication. The medication kept causing him to basically stop breathing, but they gave him a dosage that was too high. At a certain point, it started shutting his body down, and he went to the emergency room one time, and they sent him back home and said, maybe that's supposed to happen with the medication. Just go back home and continue to take your medication. And up until now, even to this day, he's in ICU in a coma from the medication, the effects of the medication. So basically, the medication poisoned him and shut down his body. And so, like those types of things, hearing those types of things, and I'm thinking, okay, marijuana is a plant. It is something that was created in the earth, and I believe that God gave all the solutions to the body. He gave it to us in the earth, and I think that real medicine, not pharmacology, but real medicine, explores the way that God intended for the body to be healed. And because the body is made up of the earth, then of course we know that our healing is going to come from the seed, the soil, the fruit, the stems, the roots. I believe that one of the great philosophers, Aristotle, I might be wrong, but I think he said, let thy food be thy medicine. Maybe that was Socrates, but one of those people said that. Let thy food be thy medicine. But I don't think that he came up with that idea. I'm no Greek here, but I don't think he came up with that idea. To be honest, I just believe that God gave us what we needed, and the nutrition, if we properly ingest the nutrition we're supposed to have, and he gave us solutions to heal the body through things that come from the earth. And so, I don't know. I just think that that's something that we need to explore. I'm asking you to join the conversation. Like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Facebook. You can look up Saba Rain or Sheree Saba Rain James. That's my personal page. I don't mind. I like to gather in conversation. You can check me out on my website, www.thehighculture.com. Again, thehighculture.com. That's The High Culture, spelled exactly how it sounds.com. Definitely want us just to begin to have these dialogues. I invite you in. As I always say, I really, really do mean this, but I love the church. I love the church, and I want us to be engaged in the world around us. I want us to have conversations and not allow these things just to happen and ignore them, because they're going to invade our space, whether we like it or not. And I just want us to be prepared on how we're going to answer these questions. And I'm not saying that I'm the expert or have all the answers. As you can tell, really here, I'm just trying to explore a dialogue here. I'm trying to provoke a dialogue here. So, with that being said, come in, share. Let's talk. I look forward to hearing from you, and just stay tuned. Many more things to come from The High Culture. It's a movement. It's a revolution. It's a way of life. We want to develop, enhance, and protect kingdom life for this generation, and that means we just have to engage. We got to be involved. Grace and peace.